even further beyond!
Yes, sir. My name's Zakashi, and in this video we're going to be doing the top 5 best teams of the month. We are in the month of April going into the month of May, so this is going to be for the month of April. I've got the screen here so you can be annoyed at the fact that I have 99 missions to claim, so enjoy that for this intro. But yeah, I just need to get a few things before we actually get into it. The top 5 bet teams here, they also consider what people are using most. So there are certain teams that are just dominant undeniably, for example characters like FSK. But because of how the meta moves and what people use more, you won't really see a team with FSK in this list, and that's just basing it on how the meta is right now. Some history on me: I am a godly player, 9 times godly player, so I always aim for the top 1000 ranks every single season. So I really do have a good insight on what the top teams that are being used is. And just to also put it out there, the list is not in order, so whatever's number 5 isn't necessarily better than what's number 1, but I just need to put it out there to say that if the favorite team that you think is number 1 out of all of the teams is at 5th place, that doesn't mean they're worse than the team that's number 2 or number 3 or number 1, whatever order. It's just there as placeholders for the top 5 teams, because depending on the user is going to make that team look better. So I just need to put that out as a disclaimer for you guys that want to critique the list straight away. There will be some honorable mentions, but they might not be, depending on how I feel. But of course, that's down to what this month is about. Now that we've gone through all the details, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We are on this grind to 30,000 subscribers. All my social media links are going to be at the bottom of the screen. This is the YouTube channel. We've got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link, all in the description below. So make sure to check me out on all of those. But yeah, man, I don't want to hold you guys up any longer. Let's get into the top 5 best teams of the month for this month, which is the month of April. Alright, so boom. The first team we have here is Fusion Warriors. Now, Fusion Warriors, they're kind of fading out. They did get that Ultra Gogeta, and Ultra Gogeta has been carrying them on their backs heavily. Other Fusion Warriors are good on the team, because Fusion Warriors are probably the most hyped things we've got in Legends ever. At every given moment that they release, they're so hype, like literally. So they're gonna always be dominant, but we rarely get them, and the gap between all of them are quite large. But Fusion Warriors is a team that I've been seeing a lot. If not Fusion Warriors, it's like a Fusion Warrior setup that might use another character. For example, Future Gohan is a good one that I've seen on the leader slot. If we just go through every single option, with the most recent option being that Fusion 13 got a Zenkai. But if I show you all the options, I'll even pull up the extremes and ultras. For blue, you just have to be running Ultra Gogeta. If you're not, then just give up on your dreams. G4 is an option. You have to be using him. If you're not, give up on your dreams. For purple, you can maybe opt in for purple VB, but you'd be coping, honestly. So just go for SV. SV, you need him. If you're not, give up on your dreams. GB and Marjube interchangeable depending on the stars. That's one thing that you actually get the choice for. And for red, I don't even advise really using a red, but you can bring red based Vegito as a support, because his ability is really good and he's free to play. But the one issue with Fusion Warriors is that there's not many options. It's either you have all the pieces or you don't. So it's high investment, but the reward is also high. But right now, I wouldn't say they're a number 1 team if I'm going to list it in order, but nonetheless, they deserve a spot on this list. So that's the first team for this video. We got Fusion Warriors. Number 2, we've got LOE, but it's a bit of a sticky one, because LOE, all of the characters on that team are powerful opponents. So it's a hybrid of both. But you can imagine with LOE, if you just add another unit into there, it just basically becomes powerful opponent straight up. So, considering other units, so this is the team that I have here. The only unit that I'm missing that should be here is the Blue Frieza. That's why the first space is empty. But if we look at all the options, you can see all the characters that you can actually have. I might need to take off a tag. No, we're good. So if I actually take off Fusion Warrior and then put in LOE, so you can see the options. Hopefully I can find it. It's right there. Nice. You can see the options that you've got. For blue, obviously, we're going to have to go with the Revival Frieza. I feel like that just makes the most sense. For green, we obviously have the new Golden Frieza, but you could also go with this guy. So I'm going to name characters for both teams. For purple, I'd say go with the Cell as a leader. You could also go with the Frieza if you're doing an LOE variant, but I wouldn't advise anything else. Yellow's got a lot of options. They've got the 2 Friezas here. They're probably the main ones and the only ones you're going to want to use. And for red, You can go Corrupt Zamasu if you got him high stars, but I wouldn't actually carry any of the reds, honestly speaking. Besides the androids, I just see them at the bottom. But wholeheartedly speaking, the best variants for you are gonna just be LOE on its own, maybe a variant of LOE, so a blue yellow, or yellow blue rather, or putting LOE with Jiren as the leader slot, or even the androids. Those teams could work, and I've seen a lot of people just play around with LOE, just putting different people on the leader slot, because LOE is just so dominant in terms of how they control the rising rushes. They got endurance, they got revival, they got like all these debuffs and things like that literally just annoy you. The team is so good and not to be slept on. They deserve a spot on this list. So I just had to mesh both, because of obviously every LOE member is literally a powerful opponent. But yeah, that's number 2 on this list. We got Lineage of Evil and powerful opponent. Number 3, we've got Future. Future here came up on the come up real fast, like real quick. Cell releasing his platinum equip. They got the Cell platinum equip, made a big difference to what Future could be, and honestly, everybody's enjoying it. But not just Cell, we also got the big other unit. And you know what the big other unit is. We got Android 35 or 17 and 18, which I don't have. But of course, there's also the blue, which is Sword of Hope Trunks, which I also don't have. If we go through the options, we got blue. Sword of Hope Trunks should be your option. Green, you could even run the Vegeta that Zenkai, but I see a lot of people doing the Goku Black and Zamasu because they have them 14 stars. They're so tanky, so effective. For purple, Cell. I've seen people run Cell on the leader. It makes a lot of sense. For yellow, the free-to-play Trunks is actually really good. Like, he's really good. Don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him just because he's free-to-play. Hopefully, if you can clear that stupid full power battle mode, you can actually get him to 14 stars. But he is actually a menace if you give him the chance. But of course, there's also the Future Gohan, who's very reliable on a lot of teams, not even just Future. But then for red, obviously, we got the androids who have the tag switch. So they're basically 2 elements, which is actually great. But that should be a no-brainer. But I've seen a couple people try to bring out Corrupt Zamasu and even use the revival Cell as if like he's just suddenly going to come back. But just to show you guys the options available, if you got a purple Rose 14 stars, I do advise also bringing them out, taking them for a spin. If you got the right equips, you could actually do a lot of damage. But Future is just a team that came back just like that, man. We didn't see it coming, a lot of people, but now they're here. Future's been here actually since Sword of Hope Trunks. So they can stay on the pedestal. They were making the list. They are number 3 on this list, I believe. Number 3. Future had to make it, man. They just had to make it. There was no other way. Like, Future is crazy. But yeah, let's get on to number 4 now. Number 4 on this list, we've got God Key. God Key, there's only one real rare variation. Let's be honest, man. This green yellow variation is gonna mess you up. It's so good, it's dumb. And you wouldn't think it's good, but it works. Because both the Vegeta and Vados are Zenkai buffed, and then you also have Kaioken Goku, which is just a catastrophe of a unit. Like, he's gonna cause you problems. That strike lock-in being the biggest thing about him, in my opinion. But then on top of that, he's filling his gauge for draw speed, everything, vanish gauge. Oh my god, he gets so much. But let's go into the options, man. Like, the team is already so dangerous, but they got options too. So for blue, the Hakai Beerus is actually really slept on, because when he pops his green when you're half health, you actually get locked in and he can kill you from there. For green, we've obviously got Beerus as a Zenkai buffer, but green Vegeta, he's the main force, Vados, and I've seen some people bring Toppo if they want to bring a blast variant of God Key, but of course the green yellow variant of God Key is literally the best one, undeniably. If we go for purple, blue bros are probably the best opts, but I don't think anything else is actually valuable. But then you can Zenkai buff blue bros with the Fusion Zamasu, so that very much works. If we go for yellow, GB, if you have him high stars, otherwise don't. Kaioken Goku, undeniably. The SSBE Vegeta, you can Zenkai buff him as well, that would be solid, but SSBE as well only if you have him high stars. And then for red, I don't advise going for a red, just add this guy and then you'd be able to actually get a good Z ability from him. I think it's critical 22% and health, which is actually very valuable. But honestly, just with Kaioken and the green Vegeta, who lowers sub counts every time an ally gets hit, then he comes in type neutral, Vados destroys your card, heals the team, gives buffs. Like, the team is just overall so dominant that if you come up against them and you lose parry maybe even 3 times, somebody's guaranteed to die, and it's going to be an issue for you, honestly. Just have to put that out there bluntly. I feel like this, in my opinion, green, yellow, God Key is actually the best team in the game. Like, undeniably the best team in the game. But that's just my take. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that. But green, yellow is probably more annoying than any other team in the game because of the color that they actually use. That alone causes problems. But Cal Ken on that team as well, it's beatable. But in comparison to other teams, man, I just have to give them the cake. But they're number 4 on this list. We got God Key. Now, last but not least, number 5 on this list, we got Androids. You're probably watching the whole video thinking they're not going to make it, but they had to make it. But if you look at my poor Androids teams where I'm missing literally everything, damn, it's so upsetting for me. But Androids, man, they made a swift comeback, and I feel like I've been seeing so many Androids, probably more than any other team in the game right now, and I'm not even joking. They got a lot of additions recently. Let's go into the character list so you can see everything. The Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Gamma 1 being green, Gamma 2 being blue. Those are 2 options that I don't have. But if we look at every other option, for blue, I already mentioned it's going to be Gamma 2. For green, it's going to be Gamma 1. For purple, you undeniably run Cell. Undeniably, and use Zenkai buff him. That's going to be great. For yellow, if you wanted to, you could actually run 18. But I've seen people run some color variants or even mono red, which is actually strange. But obviously for red is the most important color in my opinion, and it should be for yours as well. We've got the tag Android 17 and 1835. So with them literally on the team alongside Cell, those 2 alone causes problems. I've seen some people put Future Gohan on the leader, and that actually gives them an endurance unit that actually buffs the team as well. So that works because they're all Future as well. So Future kind of comes along with Androids, but Androids does have some other options that are not Future, which is why they have their own spot on the list. But I just had to keep it real, man. Androids had to make the list. Undeniably, there shouldn't be any complaints about this list. I think this list is solid. Maybe push out Fusion Warriors, but I feel like with Fusion Warriors there, so many people just use USG. G4 has been very dominant as of late as well, for reasons on his own. And a lot of people just have SV, so it works. But these are number 5 here. Androids, they had to make the list, like I said. We're going to get into some honorable mentions now. Now, you're probably expecting some honorable mentions, but unfortunately, there isn't any. And that's because I feel like the top 5 this video is so solid. Like, I don't feel like any other team, unless it's a string off of one of the teams I already mentioned, are overtaking the top 5 on this list. And I've never felt like that before, I don't believe, in this top 5 series that I've been doing for over a year. Let me know what you think about that though. Do you guys have any honorable mentions of your own? I don't feel like any other team in the game is touching these 5 teams right now. It's just not close. Every other team needs something else to bring them up. Unless they're going to run a variation with maybe like someone on the leader. But even then, there's nothing that stands out enough, especially for me, who goes for Godly every season. I'm a top ranked player, not to brag about myself, but it's just what I see as well. I can't exactly speak on the lower ranks, but this is a top list, so just had to keep it real in that aspect. But of course, if you have your own opinion, let me know in the comment section below. I should be able to see it at some point since I'm basically done with university, thank God. But yeah, man, press that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're on this grind to 30,000 subscribers. Appreciate you guys for watching, showing love with this support. This series has been going on for a long while, and I see you guys really mess with it. So gonna keep going every single month. This is the month of April. All my social media links on the bottom of the screen. This is the YouTube channel. We've got Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and the Discord link all in the description below. I'm gonna leave it like that though. I don't have anything else to say. The list is solidified. My name is Zakashi, guys. I will see you guys in the next one.
Please, lend me your energy! You're through!